What's up, Magical Misfits? Drew here, and today I am doing a video on candle carving. I don't have a whole lot of extra information that you probably haven't heard before if you know anything about candle carving, but I did just want to kind of share how I do it. Just some basics real quick for anybody who isn't familiar. You can use any kind of candle for this. You can use a chime candle, a pillar, a small votive, a tea light, any kind of candle. If you can get to the surface to carve on it, you can use it for this kind of spell. You are only limited by your imagination as far as how you do this. Like I can see on a taper doing like a spiral all the way around, and that symbolizing growing or shrinking, or there's just, you really can only hold yourself back with this kind of thing. I do like this size for candle carving just because it's a good size surface for the actual carving, but it's not gigantic. So, it's going to depend on what your purposes are. You can carve runes and magic symbols and personal sigils and all kinds of things. But I always like to take it one step further, which is why I'm doing this video. Here, this is just like antler. It's meant to go in your hair, but you can use, again, anything. You can use a knife, you can use, I've got these tools for working in polymer clay. Anything that has a sharp tip, as long as it's not going to break while you're trying to carve, as long as it's got a little bit of strength to it, you're gonna be fine. And for this candle, I'm just going to make it in advance. I'm not really in need per se, but I like to use this method in particular when it comes to my business. This is my favorite way to do candle magic for my business. So I'm going to do that, design my candle for my business. If you find it on the internet, it's often called a money charm. Essentially, the symbol is meant to look like someone reaching their arms up into the sky, kind of in like a chalice shape, in like a U shape, and signifying that they are in great need and they're open wide to receive what it is they're asking for. And that's kind of the basis of the symbol. But I'm going to go ahead and carve it in, and once I do my final step, you'll be able to see better what it is that I've carved. I'm not trying to be perfect. It's a symbol, it's symbolic, it's all right. So I've got the basic symbol in, and a lot of times if you do find this symbol on the internet, you're going to see other symbols along with it. The one I have in my grimoire, the example I have, has like the symbol for the moon and the symbol for the sun, and then the symbol for Jupiter here. And I do add other symbols and sigils to this. So for me, I am going to add the symbol for Jupiter because that is the planet of expansion and growth. And what I'm trying to do is expand and grow my business and expand and grow the finances associated with my business. Okay, and I put that at the top. And then I just put personal sigils for my business and myself and my husband on the side. They're just very simple sigils. And I could do all kinds of other things on here. Could completely write out the name, do my, I'll probably do the other sigil. Well, it's not really a sigil. I don't know. It's not your traditional sigil. But I may do my typical block sigil, I guess I'll call it, for my business on the back. But I could do all kinds of runes. I could do anything I wanted to on here. Okay, so I've got that in. And then, that's basically the gist of candle carving. You can anoint this with oil and, add your intention and whatever. I am going to take my next step, which is adding powders. I add powders to my sigils. So, you could use sulfur dust. This is cinnamon because, again, it's for my business, but ginger, anything that you can get in powdered form, you can use. Like, for instance, if this was going to be a protection candle or a cleansing candle, I might use powdered cedar bark or, any number. Again, anything you can powder, you can use, but I'm going to use cinnamon because it's for my business. I could, of course, just as easily use powdered clove, but I've often used terracotta dust for this, and I'm just going to rub it around so that it works it into all the cracks. And then knock it off. And you could clean it up to your satisfaction, but you can see now how well you can see my sigil, my symbols and my sigils that I carved into the candle. And I will do the same on the back. And for me, this not only makes them stand out, which I like, and adds, some interest to the candle, but it also adds, obviously, magical properties as well, because the cinnamon has its own properties. And whatever I use when I do this has properties, obviously. So, that's basically the gist of it. It's a really simple, short video, guys, but I did just really want to share how I do candle carving with you guys. So I'm going to charge it on my prosperity altar, the altar that's associated with our finances and our business. And when I feel a need, I will burn it. Thank you, as always, for watching. And until next time, much love and gratitude.